for so long. We've been waiting for this time to begin. We ain't getting any older. I kinda feel a little younger. Run away and embrace the day. The sun is out, won't go away. Feel the clouds on your shoulder. Touch the sky, feeling bolder. Going out, going out, going all the way. Going out, yeah, 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 yeah. Going out, going out, going all the way. Going out.
Hey guys, Vilba here. So guess what I'm working on today? Today I am in my fur coat, fake fur coat, because it's so cold. It's been raining for heaven knows how long. But yeah, got myself sorted with my long sleeved shirt as well. You can see, yeah, doing long sleeved, but I have to pull it back because I'm sketching. So let me show you what I am working on. The Gifted Ones is a new series on my old sketchbook. It has, let me see, it has 3 pieces. So let me get straight to showing you piece number 1. And here is piece number 1. Let me move my leg. So the colors I've chosen are purple. It's gonna be 3 pieces, so different colors. So that is how the second piece looks like. The third is yet to be drawn. It's in the works, so we are starting with this one first, and then we go and we continue. So I have decided to do black and gold for the bow and purple for the outfit. And yeah, that was what I was feeling like. That is my mood today. Purple royalty. Purple royalty. Purple royalty. So this is the making. This is the making. I have to start from down here. Sorry. Because I have to finish something. So yeah, this is the making of the Gifted Ones series, piece number 1. In the background, I am watching my Chinese program. It's a series that I've been watching this in Chinese on WeTV and on WeChat, so that's what I'm watching. So yeah, this is the Gifted Ones. So I'm gonna pause, move them a little bit, and then come show you the when I'm doing the skin and the final edges. And I'll be doing this and that, so that you will see what colors I chose to make it more lively, to balance out the black and gold and purple colors. Hey guys, Vilba here. So today I decided to come down with my trusted tripod and use it to film. I think that is what I'll be doing. It makes my job much easier. So I am continuing with the Gifted Ones, piece number 1, and of course I have got my trusted rims for my lips and from my hands. I'm pumping water for the house, so I have to, let me try and move you where you can see me. Yeah, that's better. That's a better angle. I don't have to twist my neck. So I'm waiting for the water to fill up in the tank to at least past the pipe hole, so I can go to the pump so that I can pump it upstairs because water is running out. So in the meantime, because I didn't want to do so much work tonight, it's Sabbath evening, I wanted to rest. And yeah, I know I've not done the Sabbath videos, but they're gonna come next Sabbath. They're gonna come to usher in the Sabbath. So I'm gonna be doing the skin part. I'm going to be doing the skin, and as usual, I've also got my trusted color pencils, and in the background I have my trusted The Great Controversy. You know, being an Adventist, that comes very handy. I love reading history coming to life, and sometimes it represents my art history that will one day come to life. So in here I have got me trusted colors because I've got to get them all out. And yeah, I will also be using these domes. Guys, I have had these domes since 2020, since COVID began. These ones I got them last year, run pretty fast through them, but these ones, no matter how fast I run through them, they're still there. I have a bigger set in Nanjing that I leave at home because mizigo mingi. So what I will be using from this is I will be using this shade of brown, and then today I will not be picking so much from. So what I usually do is I remove all this and then I pick. This is coral. When I use the Faber-Castell paint, this is my reference for coral, for, you know, skin that is light. And then we have this that is a little bit different, and we also have that. We also have that. And because I want to give it really good contrast, the contrasty, and me being a perfectionist, I have to return all my colors. I close this, I do the top because I want the next colors that I'm doing to be visible. So that's my trusted gold, my green, my gold peach, my blue, my lime, my purple, my light pink and the dark purple, my turquoise and my gray. They go in there. So I put them aside. I'm gonna take my trusted other device, and I am going to listen to me politics in the background. There I've got the TV on to keep me. Oh, I have to remove my stash of so this is where I keep my pencil shreds. Those ones, this is where I keep them. I'm gonna move this into my bag, and if I need to, why am I putting this in my mouth? Saliva. We were taught that that's the best way to oil, to bring, to activate the color, to be more potent, So I've got to sharpen the colors to avoid having blunt colors. They don't shade that well, so I am doing that. So I'm not going to use all these colors. I'm just going to pick which one I think works well. So what I normally do is I go at the back of my sketchbook. There's always that one page that I leave. So what I do is I just shade like that so that I see the variations. Okay, so these ones will go together, and if I find something lighter like that, that almost resembles the present head, I will leave that, and then yeah, so that's what I will go with for my skin. So I'm gonna start with the coral, and it's gonna be down here at the neck. Gotta oil it. I don't know why, but it definitely always seems to work. So I don't really have a structured way that how I apply my signature skin tone style. I just go in with what my mind is telling me. I feel like this part should be this way and this part should be that way. So that's what I go ahead and do. And it seems to be working for me. So that goes there. Make sure I add that, and then here we'll go with the darker variant. There's an even darker variant for that, but because I don't want to overwhelm the colors, sometimes I choose 3 to 4 colors, and sometimes I go up to 5 colors depending on how inspired I am. And in cases where I'm not heavily inspired, sometimes the skin tone colors will be just 2, like I think you have seen in most of my paintings. So yeah, the skin tone colors, it all depends with the mood of a banger. The mood of a banger. So how do I come up with my realistic or realism style of body forms? This is because I read a lot of Christian books, and I also read a lot of other books. I believe that all the gifts we are given from God are all the talents that we have, are gifts from God. When I say the gifted ones, I literally mean the gifts that you have are from God. So here I decide to go with a little bit of this, and then make sure that on this hand will be heavily coralized, if that is a word. So heavily coral. And because I am doing this with you guys watching, you are going to see the entire painting come into the entire sketch, come into reality. I like doing this because it helps me retain my draftsmanship. It also helps me put down what it is I feel will be a constant. Sometimes I change things here and there, like the paintings that I'm doing for my clients that are titled For the Love of Country. I added a few things that were not on the sketch that I added a bit later. Sometimes inspiration works like that. It's a bug, it bites when it wants to. So I added some of those things on the corner of the painting. I added bubbles and hearts in bubbles that I'm yet to finish. I thought I would finish them tonight. Well, it depends with how the water in the tank fills up, because if I don't pump the water, people be having trouble. So I'm gonna go in with this coral. Sometimes you differentiate coral by saying it's flesh tint, because it's almost like that flesh type, and sometimes when you're looking out for paint, when you're out buying paint, especially in Nairobi, it's either you get coral or a flesh tint, especially if you're using fiber castel. You are definitely gonna get a flesh tint, and in most cases that flesh tint is a little bit too pink, so you have to dull it, or you have to mix it a little bit to make it more mellow, not too bright. But sometimes I leave it like that. I'm like, sometimes that pink blush, that pink skin, when you've been spanked, sorry, not that type of spanking, when you've been patted, or when you've got a heat flush, that pink skin, sometimes I want to capture that, because it's a raw body reaction to force and motion. So yeah, so how do I come up with these forms? I have always loved figurative surrealism art. I've always loved abstract. So when I started doing art, abstract, my first ever art job that I did for a company called Trademark East Africa, I did abstract. I The mural is no longer available because it ran from 2011 all the way up until 2020. So they decided to change it during COVID. You know, change is good. Change is good. And yeah, so the painting was an abstract piece with I think I should show you from my phone. I think it's on my Instagram. 1 second. I just have to exit our Seventh-day Adventist hymnal, and then I will show you from here. Try and elongating each and each and each and each and each and each. So I am going to go all the way down to 2000, and I think the last time I went there to see it was 2000 and 2020 before they changed it. So I don't remember correctly, but I will check the timeline where, because I post. The good thing is if you post something, it leaves a timestamp on the date you posted it. It might be a different day, but it's certainly within the time scope. So yeah, I started with abstract. Sorry, I'm gonna get carried away. I started with abstract, and then I have built. When I was in high school, I had a sketchbook. My boyfriend at the time in high school, we was very good in graffiti. He still is. He does really nice graffiti, and for the Nganya culture, the Matatu culture in Nairobi. So he's an artist who does that, and he's so good at it. So we would have these moments. Our dates would be, we would sit and draw sometimes during lunch break, or during Sundays when we had, because we were in an Adventist school, so we had days where after we've done our cleaning, you finished your assignments and all that, we would have a mini date and we go sit and while we're talking and doing our small supposedly important talks, we would do what? We would draw, and that is how I learned to draw body parts, figures of the body. So that's when I got inspiration to draw. When I was younger, years before that, I had the first issue of there's this, yeah, the Aquaman, yeah, the Aquaman comic. I don't know where I got it from, but it was, first pages were not there, but I remember falling in love with drawing. There was a lady who had blonde hair. I don't remember who she was. I don't know whether it was the first one, the first rendition of the wife to Aquaman, or it was the Marvel comics where they have their own hero. I forget what his name is. Let me ask Siri. Oh, Siri's there. If I ask her, she will turn off my. Let me just Google Marvel Aquaman. The Marvel Aquaman. The Marvel version of Aquaman. The Marvel version of Aquaman. Namor. Yes. I think it was Namor. Because now that I remember, it was the Marvel version of the comic. That was very many years ago. Don't ask me where I got it. I don't know. Even me, I came across it. Maybe I came across it because my dad had a bookshop. We had a bookshop in Nyamira, and it was called Sony Bookshop. Or in better ways, you can say Sunny, because it's, but we knew it as Sony. We called it Sony Bookshop, and my love for books and reading and characters got there. I remember I fell in love with the first character of a book there, Bassanio. Bassanio in The Merchant of Venice. I started reading the Merchant of Venice when I was very young. I read Romeo and Juliet as well, but I didn't like the caricatures that were drawn because I was like, they're too red. And you know, red at that time was not my favorite color because red resembled blood. So I was like, bloody. It's like it's a death scene everywhere. But the Merchant of Venice, on the other hand, had beautiful, bright, vibrant colors. For me, browns and shades of black and maroons and a little bit of purples and that shade of flesh tint that I talked about that looks somehow like pink. Those were vibrant for me then. So yeah, that's the books bore my love for structure, for body forms. I could study the structure. I read about Leonardo da Vinci and his form of the Petrusian, or is it Petrusian man or something? I'm gonna check it and see if it's correct. I don't want to be pronouncing things that you're like, what the hell is she saying? Then I have to come correct myself. Leonardo da Vinci's the the perfect man, yes. The Vitruvian, not Petrusian, the Vitruvian man. So you can get what I am trying to say. So this piece has, so yeah, that is where I fell in love, not fall in love, with my body form. And another part of me that you don't know, I'm a fashion designer. It's another profession of mine. So sketching body forms, sometimes I have to sketch things for clients, designs for myself. And yeah, I've got to take black. Where is the black pencil? So it helps me retain my structure. So that is trademark East Africa first painting, abstract, way back, form, body forms and all that from normal comic. I remember that was my first drawing that I remember. I was proud to show about and I kept it till I was in standard 8. Here in Kenya, grade 8 is called standard 8. And then go to high school and then learn how to form structures better. Then my career as a designer, because I used to do jewelry, clothes and shoes, and yeah, which I still do, not which I used to, I still do. So those are the bases that form my love for surrealism, realistic or figurative art. So when I do this, and abstract as well, so that represents to me, I want to represent to a person that you know, your head, you as a being, you are a gift. You are a gifted one. You're a gift, you're a gifted one. God loves you. He's given you these gifts. So your head contains all these things. Your head coordinates it all to your rest of your body, hands and heart and all that. So piece number 1 is complete. On the corner here, sometimes I write colors that I intend for the next painting to be, because I already came up with this one, the color. So the next painting not gonna be so much different, but color scheme is somewhere. There's always something that ties these pieces together. So I'm gonna do the second piece in a second, but yeah, so far this is it. My small label is falling out from my cosmetic brand, so I keep it here as a page bookmark. So yeah, that is the Gifted One series piece number 1. And because I don't want these videos to be extremely too long, I am gonna do a short video of me keeping quiet, which you're gonna see with the other phone, because I gotta do that. I'm not gonna be talking, or if I'm talking, it's gonna be heard here. And yeah, this one I can pause. I'm gonna put on the light because this is something that I can actually pause. So yeah, this is piece number 1 of the Gifted Ones series. I have completed. If it makes it to canvas this year, well and good. If it doesn't, well and good, there's still next year. But I want to finish this stuff that I've been putting pending for a while, so when I start transferring them onto canvas, I don't have much trouble. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And also, because you gotta meet clients most of the time, you gotta have something, you gotta have physical things to show clients. You can't just say, you know, I've done this, I've done this. You show them your current sketches too. And my sketchbook collection is growing very big. I have a very big sketchbook in Nanjing at my house. That one I use it when I'm there, but I still carry all my sketches because a client might choose a painting that I send, a sketch that I send them while I'm in China. How do I start it? So the sketchbook is there for my guideful purposes. So yeah, this is the piece, and I want to shoot a small YouTube short for it. Piece number 1 of the Gifted Ones series. If you want to watch the continuation or the explanation, you can click the link down below on the shorts and watch the full video of how the process to come up with the series was. And yeah, enjoy. So now that I've finished with this one, even if I speak, I can always mute it. So that is the story of how I build up my characters, my people, my figures, my art. My mind works in that representative kind of state. Like the book that I'm reading, The Great Controversy, you know, there's a part where she says, "Ye are precious jewels of the Lord, and you have seen me do a series, Precious Jewels." The head is a jewel because your head is very, 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 very valuable. That is where everything is. Engine, 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 and then heart is, what can we say heart is in the car? The heart is a part of the engine. I don't know, I'm not very big with cars. So head, computer, engine. Oh yeah, head is computer. Heart is the mechanism that powers the computer because blood flow and all that. So that's how my mind works. Figurative style, you know. I want to visualize the figurativeness. My heart is what runs my body in terms of blood flow. My brain is what controls my body in terms of everything that I do, thoughts, what I speak. My heart can sometimes try to override my desires and all that. My heart can try to override my thoughts, but my thoughts will always calm the heart and be like, you know what, calm down. So the brain is the central intelligence system. The heart is the secondary intelligence system. And yeah, because when you die, if you're dead here, you are kaput. You're kaput, but your heart can live. Just reminded me something that when my dad died, when we read the death certificate, it says he had a brain hemorrhage from the accident because he jumped off the vehicle at Waiakui. I was very young. When he was taken to hospital, later on, you know how when people testify in court, why? Because that's a long story that I don't want to talk about. It's private. But when people were asked, the attending physicians were asked what would have been the chances of his survival, they said if he had survived, possibilities of him being brain dead would have been very high. And that's technically just like your heart is beating but you're not alive. So whatever happened, God knows why it happened. So anyway, figuratively speaking, you know, some of my this I've drawn it very combo. sometimes my hand does weird things. Then I have to correct it. So now I have to get a rubber and rub it off. So this is the final pieces of the finale. The finale. So I am going to do the dark brown. Don't worry about me being too kiddish sometimes. I believe I am always a kid at heart and mind. It helps me be able to come up with this crazy stuff. And my hair is this way because I've not washed it. I just had to do it for church so that I can put a wig on. Because if there is a day today that I didn't want to miss church, was because today we had a fundraiser in church, and also because I was trying to remain true to God by telling him, you know what, I told him last night, Father Lord, wake me up early to go to church. And the devil was right there standing with his red tie saying, you know what, girl, I'ma make you sleep, sleep, sleep like nobody's business. I'ma make you sleep, sleep and be tired. I struggled till 11 a.m. and I was like, you know what? Sleeping is not worth it. Let me go to church. The things that are running in my mind, tissue, I have a tissue line coming up with for the pads brand that goes together. There's so many other things. I have new books that I'm trying to edit. I finished the books I'm trying to edit. I'm reaching at parts where I'm like, what the hell was I writing? I am doing pieces of artwork where I'm like, that arm looks bigger than how I think it should. So I have way too much. I'm also worried about having overstayed since I came from my grandma's funeral, having overstayed here, and my spouse is all there back at home lonely. So I'm also worried about spending too much time, but we always talk on a daily basis. We talk morning and evening, so we are covered on that base. Sometimes it's risky, but well, I think we have trust for each other. The first times when COVID happened and I was stuck here at home for a year or two, trust levels were not, because we were still newly ding, because he was like, you stayed in Africa for too long and you know Africa has HIV. I was like, what? Yeah, but anyway, the first days we were building trust for each other and all that, but that doesn't mean that we just become reckless and all that. So whenever I'm talking, sometimes I will make fun of him. I'll cajole him and be like, you should get the ting and hit it. And then he'd be like, no, I swore to you, and I'ma keep it like that. And besides, there are very many sicknesses out there. I don't want to be a specific data point. So yeah, so I went to church and I was so glad I did. Not that I don't go to church, I do, but this specific Sabbath, I was so glad that I did, because I felt rejuvenated. I felt like I broke free from something that was holding me back. Since my grandma passed, I've been struggling a lot because my mind felt so tired. I still feel so sad and I feel broken. And there are times I cry so many times because my grandmother was my secret keeper. Like, I would tell her everything. My mom's mom was, well, listen, she was a beautiful soul. She's just literally, I am an exact copy of her. She had her moments, but beautiful soul. When she would, I miss my grandmother. I miss my grandmother. So, because I don't want to cry on camera, it's bad behavior to show tears. It's bad behavior to show people your tears and your vulnerabilities, because people be like, oh, by the way, she's vulnerable because her grandmother. Yeah, I love my grandmother, but I'll punch your. Mm-mm. If you try, use her as an excuse to try hurt me, or try hurt my family. Ooh, mosquito. Try hurt my businesses, or try hurt. Hey, if there's one job that I have loved, it's a difficult job. Sometimes it's painstakingly unattractive. Being an elder sister, being the first one. There is, I feel like, boy, this is too much on my neck. I feel insufficient. I feel like, you're running against a race where others are getting ahead and you're, slowly moving, you're panting, but you're feeling like you people can see you're moving and they're like, Jayo, way to go. But sometimes you feel like you're, as soon as you catch up with the others and you are on pace running together, somebody sprints and then you're like, I have to catch. Generally, as a firstborn, I'm a very competitive person, especially being the only girl. I'm a very competitive person because I grew up having to prove myself that I'm capable of, doing things that generally boys being the firstborns are expected to do. So I have been very competitive, and sometimes it was to my detriment and sometimes it's to my advantage because it keeps me, ahead in ways that people cannot understand. I'm able to do so many things in one go. People will not understand how you're able to juggle 7 businesses, 7 things. You have art, you have books, you have pads, you have now health products, you have clothes, you have sweaters, you have shoes, you have bags, and you have construction. how do you handle that? Are you able to sleep even for 1 second? And I believe because I've had that sort of pressure, I got tired, and also because of the sadness of losing my grandmother, my body kind of gave up. My body is like, yeah, I want to go, woo, woo, woo. I want to go ahead, but I was like, oh, I miss my grandmother. I'm tired. So I struggled to go to church, but I went today, and I felt so great. I felt rejuvenated. I felt alive because I felt like a certain shackle, if I say so, has fallen off, and I am able now to drive my car without swerving off the road or run. Even if I'm panting, I'm not panting that much, and even if others pass me, I'm like, yeah, I'm just running at my pace. I'm just running at my pace, at the pace that God has allowed me. I'm doing all this in God's time, and His time is best for me. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for staying around. I hope this is not some random banter. You feel like, oh, she got lost in the middle of the conversation. She went to Sweden and we were in France. No, you were not in France. My mind will always come back to its structure. So I told you the story of why I do the things that I do, and the painting, and the what, and how it comes, what makes me believe that this is how my representations should be accepted. And I also told you struggles. I struggled to go to church today, but I'm proud that I did, because I certainly feel much lighter. It's sad. I feel like, yes, I'm still broken kidogo because of my grandma, because we will always remember her every single day. There's no day that passes that we don't speak about her. It's painful, but a life well lived. So yeah, I also went because I'm like, you know what, God give and God taketh, and after all, Vala Mogulis, she was 85. My target, I've told God, get me to 85. I'm going to see what's that. Oh, that's the TV. I was wondering who's at the corridor. So I pray to God that I will get a long life like my grandmother did, so that I can get to see my art hung in parts of the world that I am not even thinking, so that I can get to see my books being read by people I'm not even expecting, so that I can get to see my bags and my tissues gracing homes that I wasn't even expecting, my shoes and every blah 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 blah, my knitwear, so I can get to see my knitwear brand finally making a mark where I'm not expecting it to. So that is me, my work in a nutshell, my struggles in a nutshell, my small tears in a nutshell, and the Gifted One series in prose, in pure, pure, unadulterated prose. So thank you so much for tuning in. To the new subscribers in the house, I am so grateful. We will continue to grow at the pace that God has deemed necessary for us. But thank you so much for finding my content worth a sub, and to the algorithm out there, please, if you come across my video, please like, share, subscribe, and may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. So from me, Vilba, and my trusted porch of colors and pencils, and my beautiful first piece of the Gifted series, piece number 1, I say au revoir. See you later. In the next part, Vilba out. Bye-bye.